Hey Charles, I hope all is well up in Tallahassee. Just talk a little bit about being part of the Seminoles Nation so far, what it's like for you, and just joining a winning program and tradition.
First, I want to thank Coach Norvell for the opportunity to let me be a part of the organization. And second, just it's a blessing to be a part of the FSU. I mean, getting around the team, being able to go to the Orange Bowl and get around the team early as a spring enrollee, I mean, it's just a blessing. It gives you a chance to be a couple steps ahead of the freshmen that's coming in. And but like I said, it's a blessing. I mean, the people are wonderful. The coaches, they are still who they were during recruiting. They ain't changed not one bit. They always told me once I get here, they're gonna push me. They still gonna love me the same, and that's all I felt since I've been here. So I'm confident, and I'm glad I chose to come here to Florida State.
All right. Next question will be Ira, second row on your right.
When Coach Norvell was talking about you, I think on signing day, he said that you're just very focused on football, very football smart. And have you always been that way? Like, how has football always been your one sport, or did you play a lot of other things growing up?
What's so crazy is, as a kid, I played 1 year of basketball, and I ran track for 1 year for a youth organization. But other than that, I dedicated my life to football, so that was my main sport. That was the only sport I played in high school. I didn't attain no other sports in high school, so just football. But yeah, on the focus level and the football IQ level, I've always been that intelligent when it comes to football. I mean, it all relates from school, so I've always been one of the students that stayed focused and was high on grades and how I organize and do things. So it all translates to football, and switching over to football, I mean, I've always been that way, been focused, I mean, attention to detail, and specifically trying to get in the playbook. So that's my main goal right now, trying to learn the playbook.
All right, next question will be third row to your left from Jordan.
Charles, later on in your recruitment, it seemed like a couple of schools tried to make a run on you. Can you just talk about your process and why you stayed so loyal to Florida State throughout?
Mike Norvell, just the type of man he is, I always believed in him. I mean, I took my recruiting process and decided to enjoy it a little bit. I always knew where I wanted to go, Florida State, as a kid. This was always the school. I mean, I never looked away. At not one point in my recruiting process, I told myself I wouldn't end up at Florida State. So throughout the whole recruiting process, I knew I was going to Florida State. But when it come down to recruiting and just having fun at the high school level, I wanted to enjoy that process. But I took a lot of information and details from other schools, especially the big schools like Alabama, Georgia, Colorado, those type of schools. It's just going around learning, getting more information from those people. I mean, because they're great people too, just like people at Florida State. So when it comes down to that, I just enjoyed the recruiting process. But at the end of the day, Mike Norvell was my guy.
I'll go second row to Essen.
You mentioned you had to get to early spring practices. Who are some of the players you got to talk to that have kind of helped you in your adjustment at Florida State?
If I want to speak around to my position area, I mean, I've been around Greedy Vance, AZ, and just some of the older guys, just paying attention and them showing me the ins and outs, and just focusing and seeing how they go about the program, because they've been here before me. I mean, everyone knows I'm a high athlete, but that still doesn't mean I can't look at those types of players and learn from them. So I've been soaking it in. For the most part, I've been working out with Greedy Vance. We hit the sand, go on the field, but I appreciate those guys and I look up to those guys, and they're helping me get to that point of where I want to go here at Florida State.
All right, stay on the left side, front row for Chris.
Charles, how beneficial was that Orange Bowl experience of being around a team, getting a feel for practice, how things operate on a daily basis?
For the Orange Bowl, I mean, it's a couple kids that's here now that didn't get a chance to experience the Orange Bowl, and I preach to them almost every day or at least one time a week how good and how great of an experience, opportunity that was for me to go to the Orange Bowl. I mean, it gave me 5 to 7 days to see how practices ran, how fast college is, and how the other kids go about their day when it comes to handling business, when it comes to the football level, and specifically a game like that, because that was a big game. Georgia versus Florida State, top 5 programs going at it. So I was able to see the business approach and the attitude going into that game, being able to run around in practice and see the different types of drills and whereabouts I would be on the college practice field. I mean, that was a blessing. And next time I go on the practice field, I will know and be prepared for what's going to come at me in practice.
We'll go back to Jordan, third row.
Charles, you mentioned it a little bit already, being highly touted out of high school. How do you handle the expectations and pressure of playing defensive back at Florida State?
Just going, taking it time, step by step, listening to Coach Pat Surtain, studying the defense. That's the most important thing. You gotta know where your help is and how where do you need to be, when, and how do you need to play a certain defense or a certain player. So right now it's just in the playbook, teaching the detail and just letting Coach Surtain mold me into the player I'm going to be now.
All right, we're gonna come back to Zoom for a couple. Next one will be Logan Robinson.
Hey Charles, real quick, what does Coach Storms have planned for you this spring, body-wise, and how has the transition been with tour of duty?
First I want to speak on Coach Storms. I mean, he a great strength coach. I 100% agree with his plan and program that he got for us football players at Florida State. We do a lot of squats. I can tell you that now. So he a squat guy. He gonna get them legs strong. But he have a wonderful strength program. We get it in every day, from IPF to in the weight room. He gonna push us and really he just gonna make sure we're doing everything we need to do to get us stronger, faster, and more explosive. But on to the tour duty. I mean, I know everyone heard about that. I mean, it's tough, but I mean, it's all about your mentality. But Coach Norvell reminds all of his athletes, I mean, he chose you for a reason. He chose each and every one of us individually for a reason. So you just gotta have that mindset going into tour duty. I mean, it's some of the simplest drills, but they make it to the point where you feel like you want to break, you want to give up. But as long as you stay true to yourself and true to the person that you were that got you here to the university, I mean, you'll make it through. So, but tour duty, I mean, it's a test. It's a test, and it's gonna test to see who you are and what capabilities you can attain to fight back on a game experience. So it's all about adversity when it comes to tour duty. You're gonna find some adversity at some point in tour duty where you have to tell yourself, look, I gotta keep fighting. So, I mean, as long as you're that type of guy and you're ready for the work, and you'll be fine in tour duty.
All right, we'll come back to James Hill.
Charles, just talk a little bit about your routine and also just your work ethic and the things you would like to see yourself do as far as the practices, weightlifting, and everything you want to see happen between now and your spring game.
Just like I said, just staying true to the schedule, the grind, the goal. I mean, it's just to get better every day. That's our objective here, is to get better every day. And the standard is your best. If Coach Norvell hasn't, if you guys haven't heard of that yet. So just getting better every day. Being with Coach Surtain, the technique drills and the footwork drills and eye discipline, just things like that. So behind closed doors, I just continue pushing, continue working, and I look forward to spring game, showcasing my athleticism on national television.
Come back to Ira, second row on your right.
When you had your signing or your commitment ceremony, and then I know you had another party too. Like, why was it important to you to have like a community event? Like, was your community real important in kind of your development growing up?
first I would want to say, in my community, we have some wonderful representatives that were able to make it to the National Football League, but it's not many. And in the type of honor and fashion that I introduced to the community, and the type of leader I came through the community, and the place I come from, it was just it highlighted me and the person that I am to the point where I had the community supporting me and pushing me and behind me. So I knew when I wanted to choose my school and let the world know where I wanted to go, I wanted to do it for the community. So when that day came, I mean, there was a lot of people out there, and just how I thought, they cheered me on. Most of them knew where I was going, but they cheered me on, and it was just a wonderful time to share it with the community I come from, 941, Sarasota, Florida. And I just appreciate and support all the supporters from my community.
And then, Luke came down for your ceremony, and how tight is this freshman class?
Yeah, I mean, that shit explains everything to you right there. I mean, him and his dad came all the way from Georgia. And I want to say they drove, they didn't even fly. So that shows you how strong the bond in the 24 class family is. I mean, Luke, I love Luke, and I always appreciated him for that, because to be honest, I don't know if I could have made it to his. So, but I mean, all the players bought in, and we have like a couple of specific individuals that I know that's gonna stand up and be captains on this team once our class comes to face of the team and some of the older guys move out. And I know I see the future here at Florida State, and I know that coming off a 13-1 season is only going to be greater from here on out.
Anything else? All right, thank you, Charles.